tell you good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now, before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Yeah.
And we are live. Obsidian, Theo, what up?
Yeah. What's going on, man?
What's happening, man?
How you guys doing?
I'm good. Let me go check YouTube and see if this is working. It should be working. I don't see why it wouldn't. You know what? I gotta extend the timer on that countdown to cut the song off.
Oh,
I'm gonna
wow.
add about a few more seconds. Oh yeah, we good. What's up, everybody in the chat? I see you guys. What up, Michael? Obsidian and Theo, can you guys see the chat?
Yeah,
You can see the chat?
I
All
can see
right.
it. Yep, I see it.
What's up, Mike? It's good to have you here, man. We appreciate you, brother. You know, we built this channel. No, we built this organization, the Black Manosphere membership, if you will, as an accident, really. You know, we were just doing the Black Manosphere, what originally was the meetup in Atlanta that Theo and Obsidian did along with some of their partners. They brought me in the next year. We went to Philly and things just expanded, but we had the channel all this time and we never really used it. And so we figured, since we're going to Miami this year and we're gonna have some fun in Florida. What up, Top Notch Rocker? Greetings, brother. Appreciate you being here. We figured we might as well use this channel. It's not monetized, doesn't accept super chats. We don't have a Cash App. We don't have anything. What we do want you to do though is we want you guys to go follow Obsidian. I need to put a ticker on here and some information so I could just pop up Obsidian's Obsidian. Do you have a trailer for your actual channel at Rumble?
I do, but I'm not able to do it all from the phone. So as I learn, I'm always on a learning curve with you, Shannon. So I gotta figure out how to do all this stuff on my MacBook.
Ah, man, don't worry about it. Your phone is good. I mean, for this show, the phone is cool. You good to go. You know, for those that's wondering why Obsidian has a gray box over his right above me here, is because we're still building out Obsidian's studio. We got half the equipment already shipped over to Philly. In fact, all the electronics are already here. I have Obsidian's cameras, I have his switchers, I have his cables, I have everything that he needs. Obsidian has all the audio equipment. We've already shipped that out to him. I just got to fly to Philly and we got to pick up a few more items and some construction equipment, and then we're going to put his whole studio together. So until we get him together, we either do it right or we don't do it at all. That's how we are, right? That's how real men get down anyway. So if we don't do it properly, then we're not going to do it at all. And so that's why you'll see Obsidian's box as a gray box, at least for the rest of this month until I can fly out to Philly later in a couple weeks, so we can finish him up, and then Obsidian is going to be on camera. But Obsidian, if you shoot me over any trailer or any video clips, any MP4s or anything, I can always pop them in the system and run them whenever you want me to, right here on the show. You know.
Okay.
So it's no big deal. Like, for instance, if we wanted to talk about the Black Manosphere Conclave, let's run the old the old trailer. Everybody, take a look at this here. From the very beginning, we envisioned this event to be a beacon of growth and transformation. The Black Manosphere Conclave. Across 3 days, Black men will converge to retool themselves for the 21st century. We'll forge powerful business alliances, refine styles, amplify tech skills, and exchange life lessons unique to the Black male experience. Motivate, evolve, enlighten, and thrive. This, gentlemen, is the Black Manosphere Conclave. Welcome to the elite. So that's the old trailer, brothers. That's the old trailer from that was last year's trailer. Wait, no, that was 2 years ago. That was Atlanta's trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah, 23.
That was 23. Did we make a trailer for 24?
Yeah, we do. We do have trailers for 24 because I play them on the show all the time.
But you know what? It was a recap, huh? It wasn't a trailer. It was a recap of what 23 was.
Right. It was a recap. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't want a recap. We're gonna hit everybody with a promotion, with a proper promotional trailer. So that's coming soon. What up, Philip? I see you, man. Salute to my man, Philip. What do we got here? Oh, I don't have no sound effects on this board. God damn, I gotta move them over here. And then we got Call Me Skrilla. Hey Theo, Call Me Skrilla said he's gonna be in your class. He's ready to be a cloud ninja.
Cool, man.
Is he already in, or is he a aspiring student? Have you ever heard of him?
I don't know. No, I haven't heard of him yet. Yeah, I guess he's gonna be 6.5 or 7. I don't know which one it is, but currently my other Padawans are processing the students for 6.5. Okay. So right. It's good. I don't have to be involved in that. It's nerve-wracking. It's very hard to do. So other people do that for me. It preserves my life. So again, I'm happy. You're going to be in the class. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be great. We're going to go through a lot of high-level materials. It's going to be a very challenging 6 months until the conclave.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we had an interesting week. We had an interesting week this week. The Tate brothers. Have you guys been following what's going on with them?
Most certainly have.
Yeah.
I guess what? First of all, I didn't know that they were born in America.
Yeah, they're born in Chicago, man.
Is it Chicago? It seems like I get Chicago. A different city every time. It's Chicago.
Yeah, because the Tate's daddy, it was black, and he was in the Air Force, and he was a chess grandmaster.
Damn.
Yeah, he was in it. I don't know if he was an officer or not, but I know he was in the Air Force, and he was a chess grandmaster. He taught his boys how to play chess. Andrew Tate whipped Pierre Morgan's ass in chess right quick. Oh yeah, you can see it on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, it's
whipped
interesting.
His ass right quick in the game of blitz chess.
It's interesting that they were allowed to travel from Romania, and I guess the the requirements is that they have to promise to come back to Romania on the 22nd. And I listened to the Patrick Bet David interview. He said he's going back. He's not running from the law, so on and so forth. But, you know, what's up with Ron DeSantis? What's up with Ron DeSantis? Like, these guys have not been convicted of anything. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this tonight is because I'm wondering, is this persecution kind of something that black men experience as well on a micro scale that doesn't have the fanfare and the news and, you know, and a lot of media reporting on it? Is this something that happens to us and we just don't know? And if there is, what can we do about it? You know, to hear that DeSantis, you know, basically kind of like pretty much is looking for a crime, I guess, is looking for a crime or looking for something. Apparently their laptops and their phones were confiscated at the airport. You know, they're convicted of nothing. They're not accused of anything here in America. They just basically said, you know, fuck you. Well, what do you know about it, Obsidian?
Well, not only do I agree with what you're suggesting, but it's interesting to note that it was Trump who worked everything out for them to get back to the States. And this is yet another feather in the cap of the idea that it was a manosphere election. Trump leaned completely in. As far as, is this a racial thing? I believe it is. You know, Tate, the Tate brothers are biracial. Their father is black. And black men have a long history in this country of being persecuted. You remember Jack Johnson got ran out of the United States because of his dealing with a white woman, and it was Trump who got him a posthumous pardon.
That's wild, man. But you know, Jack Johnson, that happened what? 19, you know, that's during the Prohibition era. I mean, this is happening in 2025.
Yep.
This is happening in 2025 for those brothers to get hemmed up like that, man. So I just thought it was interesting to hear. You know, it's a lot of people that don't like him, and his argument is something that I think that the men of the black manosphere is going to run into. We haven't gotten there yet, but I think we're going to end up running into it. The Tate brothers, like them or love them, represents men with a voice and men who stand up for themselves, men who don't get pushed around, men who are not falling for a gynocratic system of government, and men who are masculine. And the black manosphere, and by extension, the black manosphere conclave represents all of that as well. Like one of the biggest things that one of our biggest proponents is men being men. And I have a feeling, Theo and Obsidian, that as we grow and as we get bigger and as we promote men, particularly black men, to be better black men, you know, law-abiding black men, nevertheless, not no goddamn push around, we may get the same kind of pushback, persecution, or accusations that these Tate brothers are getting. If you haven't already experienced that already in the history of the black manosphere, Obsidian.
I agree. I think that you know, it's interesting. I was saying to some buddies last week, Chris Williamson, who is a very big YouTuber, he's got several million followers. He's out of Austin, Texas, by way of the UK. I follow him on his newsletter, and he made the point that Andrew Tate is representative of a sector of the manosphere that's not white. He has very high favorability ratings among non-white men, and that a sizable portion of the manosphere is not white.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's entirely correct. Yeah, I mean, I came over from the white manosphere over to the black manosphere myself, and I'm very aware of what the white manosphere is thinking. So, yeah, we have a unique experience. We have a unique story. I think that we have the main voice and depth for men's issues in particularly in the West. So being in the Black Manosphere is actually, I think, the best area for us to be. But yeah, what have I been called? Just everything under the. I can't believe how many terms I've been called. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just in my house. What are you talking about?
Do you guys believe? That's interesting. You say that the manosphere, not the Black Manosphere, the manosphere has a large contingent of non-white men who follow manosphere ideology, principles, and whatnot. Men first, masculinity, mother, father, sister, daughter, protect your woman, protect your family, protect your children.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: is the Black Manosphere open to anybody, including white men, but particularly other than white men who aren't necessarily black? How do you feel about that? Or what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, the manosphere is worldwide. I mean, as a matter of fact, my sources have told me that in recent years, about the same time that the conclave got started, so back roughly since the pandemic, 2020, it's been catching on like wildfire in places like India, Brazil, other locations, in the Pacific Rim, Korea, Japan, China. But my sources have been telling me Latin America, it's been catching on like wildfire there, and that the Black Manosphere has been increasingly getting coverage. I just got word from our conclave brother Andre Spence, Andre Love Crossing Borders. He turned me on to yet another NPR hit piece about us last week out of Illinois, their Illinois affiliate.
Wait, a hit piece on the Black Manosphere?
Yes.
Man, did he send you the link?
Yeah, he did. Hold on a second. I'll get it to you. Hold on.
Another thing is we had some Hispanic brothers at the conclave in Houston last year. And we have some white brothers that's students of Theo's. So is the Black Manosphere black only? Or is the Black Manosphere open to all men with a concentration and focus on empowering and uplifting black men? Which one is it?
Well, the Black Manosphere Conclave, as its name suggests, does kind of center black men, but we don't, like you said about last year's conclave. We're welcoming of our Latin brothers, and if the Asian brothers want to come along, as long as they understand that it was formed and founded on the principle of centering black men and putting them at the center of it.
Yeah. It's kind of like my fraternity. My fraternity we're a black fraternity, and everything that we do, like our motto is achievement in every field of human endeavor. We concentrate on black men, but we let other brothers in. You can join the fraternity just as long as you understand what our purpose is. Go ahead, Theo.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, sure, there are white men, or actually just say non-black men who want to take the class, and I usually have a personal interview with them. And I tell them, I say, what this group is about. Like, this is about black men. We're really focusing on black men here, but why do you want to be in here? Like, what do you want to do? And usually they talk to me to give me a good explanation of what's going on. I'm like, okay, cool. Most of the white guys who are in the class are actually passport bros. So they're married to non-Western women, and they have very similar viewpoint that we have, and therefore it's not that hard to put them into the class. They want to leave the country, or they want to improve their job, they want to provide for the family, things like that. It's very normal stuff, but their lightsaber is red, let's say that.
All right.
They're definitely into masculinity, that's for sure.
All right. Well, before we pivot off to the next topic, brother Jaquez Aldrich put something interesting in the chat here. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. He says, last year on Twitter, Andrew Tate referred to Juneteenth as ratchet nigger shit. The Tates are self-hating white passing biracials. They don't deserve our support. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that we're out here rallying for the Tate brothers, but a lot of the talking points that it's one of those let me give you my take. This is my personal take, not Theo's, not Obsidian's, and certainly not representative of the Black Manosphere or the Black Manosphere Conclave. This is Shannon speaking. Eat the hay and spit out the sticks. Or some people say eat the meat and spit out the bones.
Yep.
I don't like everything that anybody says. Period. The only person on the planet that I like everything that he says is me. Like I really enjoy everything I talk about. I agree with all of my talking points, 100% of them. I can't find anybody else that I agree 100% besides myself. So while Brother Aldridge, he may have said that, I also understand that he's very performative as well. Andrew Tate. He's extremely performative. He does a lot of things for shock value. He has a service to sell. He wants people to join his $50 a month membership over at university.com or something like that. I forget what it is. And so he has to, and remember, he's battling, quote unquote, the Matrix. And so he's going to say stuff so as long as he keeps his name in the news rotation, he'll say whatever the fuck he wants. Crazy shit. And be upset with everybody. And remember this is another tactic that I've seen that I know that Myron at Fresh and Fit does. When you talk about yourself, it almost gives you an opportunity to talk shit about everybody else, but you can't eliminate yourself. This is what comedians do. I don't know, Brother Aldridge, if you've ever been to a comedy show. Typically, when comedians sit up on stage and somebody in that crowd is heckling or they want to get racial in their jokes, one staple thing that all budding comedians learn early in their career is dish your own race first. If you black, talk about black people before you talk about Asians. I know the main joke is going to be about white folk, Asians, and Latinos, but if you're a black comedian, you got to diss black people first so you can bring down the guard and not come off racist. So when you see people like Andrew Tate say shit about Juneteenth, and there's a lot of black people that don't agree necessarily with the Juneteenth thing as well, but that's notwithstanding. Sometimes you got to talk shit about yourself before you can go talk about, the small hat community, which he goes hard on. Before he talks about his own government, before he talks about white folk, Asians, Latinos as well. So that's just my thoughts on it. You guys have any points on that? On Tate dissing black people as he did last year with Juneteenth?
I think, like you said, Tate is very performative, and there's a lot of shit lording and trolling going on. I don't take a whole lot of that at face value. Instead, I would love to have a sit down with. I think that Andrew Tate is a lot different, when you have a sit down with him. Because I looked at the interviews he did with Michael Franzese, with Patrick Bet-David. It's a completely different vibe, man. You really sit down and on the level with him, man to man. It's completely different.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Whatever he said about the holiday, I'm not really paying that much attention to it. I'm still getting used to it myself. So
you live in Texas.
Yeah, right. I live here in Texas.
You live in the state its origin state.
I'm used to working every single day in June, so suddenly there's a day off. I'm like, wait a minute, I want to go straight from Memorial Day to the 4th of July. It's supposed to be 6 weeks of straight work. Why do I have this vacation? I don't want it. But I get it. I mean, it probably should have been there from 50, 60 years ago. Right. So it's a good holiday. I'm down with it. I just prefer to work on the day. That's all.
Yeah. Look, I'm from LA. We don't know. Juneteenth is not mentioned, celebrated, talked about, recognized, or anything here on the West Coast until recent days. It was a newsflash for a lot of people to even realize it became a national holiday. Call Me Skrilla says that he doesn't agree with how Andrew said it, but the holiday itself is celebrated by ghetto black people, and that's what he was trying to point out. And he says there's truth to that. I mean, I don't know. From what I understand, the people in Texas is almost upset that it became a national holiday because it was kind of private and personal to people in Texas. But anyways, we're not here to talk about the Juneteenth thing. let's move on to our next topic, because this is a short show, gentlemen. I'm sure there's women that's going to be watching the show, but this show is centric for men. We are only scheduled to go an hour. We haven't decided if we're going to do it on Tuesdays or Thursdays. We were going to have it this Tuesday. We had to take care of some business, so we pushed it to tonight. Me and Theo and Obsidian is going to decide if we're going to do this show on Tuesday or Thursday evenings. It's only going to be 1 hour. We're going to have 30 minutes of dialogue with us three, and then we're going to open up the panel. We're still going to open up the panel tonight. So if any brothers are in the chat want to pull up, I'm going to drop the link in a second. But the second topic that we wanted to talk about is, politics. Trump is, this shit is in rotation. It's almost like 2017 all over again. But a little bit on steroids. We just had the State of the Union. Did you cover it on any of your last two shows, Obsidian?
Matter of fact, I did earlier today. Me and the Hood Conservative, we talked about that. We covered it. Had a really good turnout, man. We had like over 300 people turn out for the show, so it was really good. And matter of fact, we're going to have the Hood Conservative coming back. Seems like my audience really likes political talk.
Man, it's everybody likes it now. This is the highest, I think, how do I say this? There has never been more young people interested in politics than now.
Yeah.
And so anything that happens, anything that happens right now in politics is like everybody's hypersensitive about it. It's almost like Americans are picking sides and whatnot. And at the first of all, that State of the Union is now officially the longest State of the Union ever given by a president. The one prior to that, I think, was Bill Clinton. And so he's been dethroned by this past one, Tuesday. Then you had Al Green. What's the brother named Al Green that went off? He got censored by, So he's going in. They going crazy. I get it. Listen, when Obama was in office, somebody said, "You liar." I think that was about the extent.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, and I didn't approve of that either.
Yeah. Somebody screamed out, "You liar!" But that was it. That's the highlight. There's nothing else to talk about. But they went crazy on Tuesday. It's almost like they had a sit-in. Yeah. He had his cane up in the air and was singing, "We shall overcome," as if it was, old, trying to hearken and summon the spirit of Martin Luther King inside the halls of justice. They went crazy on Tuesday, man. And now you got people like what's her name? Crockett. What's the sister's name? I just did a show on her yesterday. Jasmine Crockett being ghetto and ratchet. She's representing your state, Theo. That's your girl out of Dallas. She represents District 30, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, 30. Yeah.
That's Dallas. I'm Austin. That's Dallas people. Okay. We have our own ratchets here.
Listen. So, they're upset. People on the left are upset. And by the way, the Black Manosphere is agnostic politically. We are right leaning because many of our members are conservative, but we accept brothers from the left, the right, all face. So the Black Manosphere officially does not have a political position. So if you are a liberal, but you still care about black men, you're absolutely welcome into the Black Manosphere. But Shannon's personal opinion is liberals is losing their goddamn mind. What the hell? And I used to be a Democrat. I ain't gonna front. I was a Democrat most of my adult life. It's only recent that I became conservative. So, I don't know. What do you think? What was some of the topics you guys was talking about today, Obsidian? What were some of the highlights?
We discussed everything you talked about. We discussed, as well as the idea that's kind of floating around right now that Crockett is being tapped to lead the New Democrats, and possibly could even be a name floated for 2028. Which I say bring it on, because my guy is JD Vance, and we will do what we did last fall. We'll do it again.
Yeah, well, for the Democrats, if they don't bring in a centrist, they're gonna fail. And what they keep on doing is bringing these wokies over to the election. And I mean, okay, like 60% of Gen X voted against the Democrats in the last election. So I mean, we're Gen Xers. We're pretty much done with that. Like, there's a certain amount of liberalism we're cool with as Gen Xers. We're like, hey, we understand. We're down with that. But there's a certain line where we're like, hey, look, you've gone too far. Like, you're in La La Land. This is not going to work for us. And so, if they don't bring that kind of centrist in, that's done. It's instantaneous. They will not make it.
Yeah, man. That's wild. You know, I was listening to, again, the PBD podcast earlier this morning, and they were breaking down a few things that's been happening this week. And one of the things they mentioned was that the DNC sent out a pamphlet to all the members of the Democratic National Convention. And there's a pamphlet that was basically a single sheet questionnaire basically asking, what do we do now? Like, they have no strategy. They don't know what the fuck to do. And it really literally said, verbatim, I'm not making this, it said, what should we do next? Asking the members, because and they asking it in a manner of, we've tried everything. We don't know what to do next. We can't stop that. We can't stop that Trump train. That mother is coming in and is destroying every blockade we put up. That's what they put out just recently. And then they had it on there. He flipped the pamphlet over, and on the backside it had what do you hate the worst? The immigration policies or the foreign policies or getting rid of certain departments. Oh, by the way, did the Department of Education get disbanded today? Because it was supposed to happen today. Do you guys know?
I don't know.
You don't know? We'll know tomorrow. But today was supposed to be the day that the Department of Education was supposed to go bye-bye.
Wow.
So I don't know if that happened, but I do know that the IRS is preparing to fire 50% of its workforce. 90,000 employees in the IRS, 45,000 of them are getting the can.
Sounds good to me. Couldn't happen. It couldn't happen to a better government agency.
To respond to that question you're just talking about, Ryan, regarding what can the Democratic Party do, one of the first things I would say is you can listen to heterosexual men. I mean, that's the first thing. Like, let's start there. Instead, we're vilified, and then when they vilify heterosexual black men, I'm like, wait a minute, we don't have any power. So how can you vilify us? And
right.
we're the enemy? Oh, I'm done. I'm not even going to deal with this. So, yeah, that would be a good thing. But, they're not going to do that. Because they have to maintain identity politics. And that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's very exciting to see this political landscape that we're currently in. It's a lot of moving parts, of a lot of things happening. It just dawned on me that TikTok is already 45 days into their 90-day extension. Shit like that, where TikTok was banned for 18 hours. Huh?
They're already halfway through?
Man, already. They had it was banned on the 19th of January for 18 hours. They brought it back on the 20th with a 90-day extension. We are now March 6th. We went through the entire month of February. So and that was, mind you, that was 10 days before January ended. We're 6 days after. So that's 16 days. You add the 28th of February, that is essentially 30 plus 16. We had about 45 days. Basically, the 90-day extension is halfway through.
Wow.
Talk about moving fast. There's a lot of shit going on, man.
Time is flying fast.
So they got 45 days, and that's just one thing. That's just one talking point I'm bringing up. So it's so many different things that's happening. That's going on. The foreign aid was suspended recently, particularly to Ukraine, especially because of the disrespect that happened last Friday, according to the White House. And then a judge tonight ordered that some of the foreign aid resume by Monday. So that was issued today. That directive was issued today, but that's just the judicial sending it out. We don't know how that's going to go. I mean, it's almost like the three branches of government are fighting each other and shit. It's an interesting state that we're in right now. What are you going to say?
We need to shake up. I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, okay, you guys know my point. I'm for the aid for Ukraine, but fundamentally, we are borrowing so much money that we're having to borrow money in order to pay interest payments. And that can't continue. So basically, again, shout out to BGS for that one. We need to spend less. Like, it needs to be a significant reduction in costs. And so some of the points are sad and they're bad. I get it, but that has to happen. Another point also is that I think about 1.4 legally entered immigrants are going to be kicked out pretty soon. It's going to include 240,000 Ukrainians.
Oh,
yeah, but that was before the Zelensky meeting, and that was.
How about to say, are they refugees or are those just illegal immigrants from Ukraine?
They're on the refugee status, but it's they're in the same group as many Venezuelans, Colombians, Mexicans, other nationalities. So it's not a political thing. It's something that they planned on doing since the inauguration. So, yeah, I mean, they're clearing house. I get it. We have to reduce our costs and focus on ourselves right now in our communities. I mean, the roads are broken. The bridges are falling apart. We have major issues to deal with. Let's focus on the country first for a while.
Did we ever even get clean water up in
Flint?
Where?
Flint, right?
Flint,
Michigan.
Yeah. Did Flint, Michigan ever get clean water yet?
I don't think so. I don't know. Somebody in the chat can answer that.
You know how it wraps my mind around how much homelessness we have and how much infrastructure needs to get fixed, or things like clean water is not available to people in America, but we sent $350 billion military aid and cash to one country and millions and billions and billions of other places. Some of these places need it. You know, I believe that the Ukraine needed money. I have no problem helping others. My problem is, do you help others before you help yourself? That's all I'm asking.
Right.
That's all I'm asking.
And as Theo pointed out, we got problems here at home, man. I mean, this whole thing, I love what Elon Musk is doing with Doge. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, all of those heads of those different agencies need to be hauled in front of the Congress and made to explain why the taxpayers paying for this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to just say that they're
to the weeds, the inner workings of how we do things at the conclave. And Shannon and Theo had no idea this was coming. But, you know, when we do things behind the scenes, we got to make it make sense.
Right.
We can't just say, okay, we're going to spend $30,000 on little cutesy buttons. No, why? We got to make it make sense when we spend money.
Right. Right.
And every business, every small business, every large business in the United States has to do the same thing. If you want to do something, you know, like the situation that Ace Metaphor is going through, you know, he's got to make it make sense. Or if he does, or if it don't make sense, he's got to cut back. He's in this situation he's in right now because of that. He had to cut back.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you this one. I mean, so Musk goes into Twitter, he eliminates 80% of the workforce and Twitter still works. So the idea is how much of the government, the federal government, isn't necessary for it to function. And then can they use AI bots in order to cover various people's positions in order to further reduce the costs on a yearly basis? Now, this actually makes sense. And nobody has really gone in, at least since Clinton, and reduce the size of the federal government. And we need to do it. It's too big. It's costing too much. They have to figure out some other way of operations. So, you know, even though it's, you know, you have these sad stories of people going on, losing their jobs. I always say, hey, look, when I lost my job, when I was homeless, nobody cared. My liberal friends weren't crying, right? But why is it that this government job, which is basically welfare for somebody, why is this allowed to continue? And then you feel bad about it when this is actually removed. For the most part, you don't care if other people lose their jobs. So I say, go ahead, reduce the federal government by at least 25%. That's a good starting point. And at least get a balanced budget and stop borrowing so much money.
Word up. Radarin asked a good question. He said, how is the U.S. borrowing money and giving away money at the same time? Don't make sense like Fort Knox. That's a question I asked about 30 years ago because it didn't make sense to me either. And this is what I discovered 3 decades ago when I was like, how is it that we are borrowing money, but we have a deficit? How do we owe money, but pay money at the same time? How are we so rich, but we got this, we owe all this bread? And so what I've discovered, Radarin, and this is what I want all brothers that's listening to me. And I'm gonna just give you guys the basic layman's term answer to this question. The United States isn't one big bank account. We have a lot of bank accounts. We're not just one huge savings account and then another huge checking account, and then we kind of parse it off into say, okay, a little bit of money from this big bank account goes here, and a little bit of money from that big bank account, from this big bank account goes there. That's not how it works. The way America operates is we have a shit ton of bank accounts. Some of them are in the negative. Some of them are super in the positive, lots of money, excess money. I'm talking cash, by the way. Mm-hmm. So understand, a lot of times when we talk about the deficit, we look at all the bank accounts that are negative, but we don't match those up against the bank accounts that are positive. We don't say, oh, so we have $45 trillion in cash over here, but we're in deficit of 40 trillion over here, so we have a net of 5 trillion. That's not how it works. When we talk about our deficit, we only talk about what we owe. We don't talk about our positive money and the positive cash flow that we have and the money that we make through foreign trade. We don't discuss that. That's not hedged against the money that we owe other countries. That's number one. Here's the second point, Radarin. Our deficit isn't all cash. Our deficit oftentimes and mostly is our assistance to others on what they owe us back. So as an example, if we're always giving money out, and I thought this was interesting when I learned it. If we loan money to Venezuela and we give Venezuela, let's say, just make it easy, $1 billion. And Venezuela says, I'm going to pay you back over 10 years at $100 million a year for 10 years. That $1 billion gets added to our deficit because we've loaned that to Venezuela. It's not like they gave us money and we thank you, Venezuela, for giving us money. Our deficit also includes money that we give out that we haven't been paid back for. This is why Trump was really upset about the $100 million. I'm sorry, the $100 billion that the UK had gave to Ukraine, and it was secured, but our money was not secured. That's why we wanted the minerals deal to make up for the unsecured $350 billion that we've given them, because that $350 billion is hedged against our deficit. So understand, and this is just a simple version. Our deficit includes all of our negative bank accounts, but it's not added or subtracted or done with, it's not a equation. The equation does not include our positive bank accounts. That's number one. And number two is whenever we give money out or we do aid or we help somebody, the money that we give out that hasn't been realized back is part of the deficit as well. Mm-hmm. So when you're like, yo, it doesn't make sense for us to, how are we borrowing money and giving away money at the same time? That's how we do it. Just to give you the simple 3 to 5 minute version of that.
It sounds like we borrowing from Peter to pay Paul.
And the thing is, you would think it would be, because sometimes that's the case. I mean, that when you think of Social Security, because they say, okay, well, Social Security is running out, so where are we gonna get the money from? Well, they look at one of those other bank accounts. Okay, well, you know what? We stopped this pipeline, and the money that we earmarked for this pipeline, move it from that bank account over here. We kind of shy away from that. We're saying, no, don't mix the bank accounts. Don't fuck with this. But a lot of times, some people, the way they do their own households, I mean, their household finances, that's how they want to use the United States government. That's really not a good way to do things. All right, let's move to our last topic. We talking longer. We were supposed to only talk 10 minutes per topic, but you know, we're building this plane as we fly it. I want to talk about Black Lives Matter. Then we'll open up the panel if anybody wants to come up. I want to talk about what's happening in Georgia with Black Lives Matter. Here, let me swing over to our article here. Georgia representative wants to withhold DC funding until Black Lives Matter Plaza is renamed. I thought that was interesting because this is coming from the Griot, which is owned by Byron Allen. This is a Black-owned publication. Here, let me put this in reader mode real quick. Hold on one second, guys. Let's put this in reader mode. A Georgia representative wants to withhold DC funding until Black Lives Matter is renamed. Republican Representative Andrew Clyde introduced a bill to withhold federal funding from Washington, D.C. Unless the mayor, Muriel Bowser, renames the Black Lives Matter Plaza to Liberty Plaza. The plaza, commissioned in 2020, features a large Black Lives Matter mural and has faced opposition from Clyde and others who argue it should be renamed All Lives Matter. Wow. Republican Andrew Clyde is on a mission to erase Black Lives Matter Plaza from Washington, D.C. This week, he introduced a new bill, H.R. 1774, to the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, proposing to withhold certain federal funds from the District of Columbia unless Mayor Muriel Bowser renames the symbolic street. To amend Title 23 United States Code to withhold certain apportionments funds from the District of Columbia unless the mayor of the District of Columbia removes the phrase Black Lives Matter from the street symbolically designated as Black Lives Matter Plaza, redesignates such street as Liberty Plaza, and removes such phrases from each website, document, and other material under the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. Clyde's proposal would also require the removal of the word Black Lives Matter, the phrase rather, from all government materials under DC's jurisdiction. The plaza, located on 16th Street Northwest between 8th Street Northwest and K Street Northwest, just blocks from the White House, was originally commissioned in 2020 amid nationwide protests against police brutality following the murder of George Floyd. The street is known for its massive yellow Black Lives Matter lettering, which became a powerful symbol of the movement. This isn't the first time Black Lives Matter Plaza has faced opposition. As previously reported by the Griot, a group of white men once attempted to sue the city over the mural, calling it a cult orthodoxy. And Clyde himself has been on this crusade before. Back in December, he aired his grievances about the plaza to the right-wing outlet Daily Caller, advocating for its renaming while also calling Black Lives Matter movement pro-crime. So, you know, the reason why I thought this was interesting is do we have a new disposition in the Black community on Black Lives Matter after all the truth and history and the origin and where the money is gone and all that kind of stuff has come out over the years? Is there something I don't know about? Because it seems like nobody wants to be associated with Black Lives Matter anymore these days.
Liberals are still down with it. Yeah, they're still supporting it. They're the only ones I've heard actually talk about. What do you think, Obsidian?
I ain't seen nobody wear the shirt in years.
I've seen it here in Austin, and then I've seen murals on people's front lawns, and you know, people talking about it. I keep on asking them. I say, can you really show me how BLM has actually helped black men? Black men, you know, the ones who are getting shot. So what is it doing for us? Like, where are we profiting from this, right?
You're
And
right.
I don't see anything. So, oh, yeah, I don't.
I don't know,
see
man. You get people like, I don't know if you guys seen the documentary that Candace Owens produced when she was with the Daily Wire about the Black Lives Matter and this whole movement and the founders and how that one woman, the one of the founders, the main founder of Black Lives Matter, she bought 3 mansions with that money. And 2 of the mansions burned down here in LA during the fires a month ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
It's just a coincidence. It could be just a coincidence, but 2 of her mansions burned down.
You could have put that money into like a homeless shelter for Black men, particularly in urban environments where I actually can go someplace and do something, because Black Lives Matter, right? But apparently, no, it's this one woman's houses matter, right? So I'm just, when I heard her house is burned down, I was like, okay, there's something good from the fires. Right. 3 houses? Really? Well, most of us could barely pay for one.
Yeah. I say that. Yeah, I'm with that congressman. Yeah, we need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
If Muriel Bowser doesn't change the name, they don't get no funding on it. Screw it.
They need to depoliticize the name of a street, because then it's just going to change the name of it every few years, and that's going to be. I mean, that just gets irritating for post office workers. I mean, come on, name it Pennsylvania Avenue and just keep it there. Like, come on, do they have to name like this? This is gonna be silly. We have bigger things to deal with, right? So why are we? It's a petty thing to deal with. They just change the name of the street.
Yeah, it says a year after the mural was first painted, Mayor Bowser had the fading letters replaced with thermoplastic road marking paint, a move intended to make the installation more permanent. But if Clyde has his way, BLM Plaza could be at risk for losing both its name and its cultural significance. You see, when Black Lives Matter first came out, I sold some of the t-shirts. I ain't gonna front. But yeah, I never wore any, because while I understand the sentiment and I believe in the movement, I did not believe in the organization behind it. It took nothing but a Google search and a visit to the website and read the About Us page to make you say, what the hell is going on here? Now, the problem with the Black community, in my opinion, is that we're so emotionally led and driven that we don't really get farther down in any article. All we care about is the headlines. And if somebody gives you a clip or a snippet of a video of something, nobody ever says, let me see the rest of it. Yeah. Nobody ever says, wait, what led us up to this point? What happened? Why did you start the video here and stop it there? How come you didn't just give me the whole clip and let me figure out where to go? And I don't really see too many times that people that look like me give a fuck about that stuff, whereas I always give a fuck about that. And so when it came to Black Lives Matter, I was like, okay, yeah, I like the phrase, but to me, that's synonymous to just clipping a video and showing me the emotional part. What's the rest of Black Lives Matter? Where did it come from? Who funded it? Tell me about it. And then where's the money going and what's it doing and what has come of it? What schools were built? What is all that money? Except from what I understand, is raised upwards of $2 billion with a B. Billion with a B. Where did it go? Like, what did it do? What did it do that we should be able to say, yeah, Black Lives Matter paid for that? Can you name anything, Obsidian, that you could say Black Lives Matter paid for that?
Nope.
Because I can't.
Sure can't.
I can't either. I mean, you still, okay, $2 billion, Black boys still can't read in the elementary schools, right? And I want to say, like, again, I was very passionate about BLM myself. I was very pro BLM. I read that homepage about the founders. I thought, this is crazy. This is probably something made up. And I just waited, and I was like, okay, let's see what the effects are. And it's exactly as you said, Shannon. At the end of the day, nothing was really being done for black men in particular, and nothing for black boys. I wasn't seeing anything, and I was like, what is this money going towards? Like, why? So, so you got this rich, ABW leftist getting a lot of money and buying 3 houses. Okay, this is ridiculous. So I haven't seen any benefit from it. Nothing that I can point my finger towards. So, no, man, it's a 0 for me. I don't support it anymore.
Listen, we got 10 million black children in the U.S. So I would imagine that we have 5 million black boys. Can you imagine what $2 billion, and let's not even take the whole $2 billion, let's just take half of it. Y'all can keep the other half for your administrative fees. Can you imagine what $1 billion can do to cover tutors to help black children read after school for free?
Yeah.
Because right now, every school district in America, they have teachers and they do their best and they go to school, and I applaud teachers. My father was a teacher for 44 years in the Los Angeles Unified School District. He retired from there. And, I know their efforts are there. And I know it's harder for people to live. People got to work now. A lot of parents, it's a little bit more tough to be a parent. You don't have the same amount of time that parents had 30 years ago. I get all of that. So then to supplement what parents can't do today that they were able to do years ago, tutors can fill in. But tutors cost money. These school districts aren't paying for extra tutoring, and tutors are not cheap. They're not cheap. My son's tutors are $800 a month. $800 a month. So just one kid is about $400. Actually, it's about $500. But I got 2, so I got a package deal. So it's $800 a month just for extra tutoring outside of what they get from me, their mother, and from the school itself. Now, imagine if Black lives really mattered, like this organization says, not the phrase, but the organization BLM. And they took that money, and instead of buying mansions and everybody just sucking down all that money and then patting their pockets with all that free money coming in, that it actually went towards helping black boys read. Because Obsidian, what is the numbers on black boys reading in America right now? Do you know it?
It's the last time I checked, the numbers were looking bad. It was like the highest numbers was like barely, not even 15%. And that's for 3rd grade reading proficiency. Not even 13% in the black precincts. Not even 15%.
15%. So 1.5 boys out of 10 can read?
At grade level, 3rd grade, throughout the black precincts, public school districts, yeah.
1.5 boys can read at grade level out of 10. You bring 10 black American boys. Let's put them at age 8. Let's put them right there at age 8. Let's make it 4th grade. 1.5. That's 15%, as Obsidian said. Let's go with 15%, because I heard it was lower than that. I thought it was like 8, depending, I guess, where you are. So maybe the average is averaging around 15%. I think that's on the high level, but we'll go there with it. That means out of 10 boys in a room, only 1.5 of them can read at grade level. The other 8.5 can't read where they're supposed to. That's crazy to me. And if Black lives really mattered, did you do anything anywhere for that to be fixed?
Yeah.
Anything anywhere. I'm not asking for nationwide. I'm asking for just Atlanta, just DC, just Chicago. Just New York only, Brooklyn only. And I have not heard of it. Nobody's ever told me, and I don't think it's ever happened. So my vote is to change it to Liberty. What do they want? Liberty Plaza? Change it from Black Lives Matter to Liberty Plaza, because I do believe that Black Lives Matter. I also believe that all lives matter. But if Black Lives Matter is going to represent the organization BLM, then they can get rid of that plaza as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Goodbye.
I have to.
I mean, as a scam.
Yeah, I had to talk about this. So, like, even in my class, we are dealing with some students who basically can't read. They really don't have that ability to read books. They don't know what's going on. And I keep on telling them, when you go into the office, you're going to be reading a lot. You're going to be writing a lot. That's kind of a fundamental point. So we are thinking about how to have remedial classes to help these guys out. And maybe what they need to do is take a year out just to do reading and writing.
And this is grown adult men you're talking about, right?
Yeah, these are grown. These are men over the age of 30 that we're having an issue with. And we're seeing some of the younger ones, but the older ones were definitely ones above 30. Yeah, there's definitely there. And it's something we have to deal with because, I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like, just do what everybody else did and just kind of turn away? I don't think that's a good point. I don't think that's a good approach. So probably in the next year, like over the summer, we're going to have remedial reading courses, remedial math courses, writing courses as well. And we have, I have some teachers who can actually help that. And we're going to help the guys actually learn. And believe me, the guys who teach are not going to be getting paid $800 a month. That's for sure.
Right. Per student, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. We're much cheaper than that. Well, it's a bootstrap here. I'm just thinking, like, okay, so so they're paying like $800, so $400 a month per student. Just think about all the tutors, like the college tutors, who can get side jobs just doing that. Because when I was in university, I was a volunteer tutor. I didn't get paid anything. I was paid zippo, right? So, I mean, that's, again, Gen X normal way it was. If you want to help somebody out, go out and help them out. Go, you get nothing for it. But that's what help is.
Right.
So, the fact that they're actually paying tutors and the money isn't being dispersed in this way to help particularly black boys read, I'm not down with that.
No, I'm not down with that either. That's ridiculous. I mean, no, like I said earlier, if we had performance like that, we wouldn't be talking right now. The Black Manosphere Conclave. We was putting up numbers like that, barely 15%, we wouldn't be talking right now. No business would. You can't survive with numbers like that.
Yeah.
So why has the public school districts in the black precincts been allowed to go on for so many years, cranking out year on year, essentially black men, because these boys are going to grow up to be black men one day, basically functional illiterates? I mean,
yeah,
why?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It really does take a father inside the house.
That's without a doubt. That's been already studied 1,000 times over. Yeah, all right, brothers. Listen, nobody pulled up to the back chat, and I haven't built in an intermission video, so nobody pulled up. So we're not going to have anybody on the panel tonight. We've talked longer than we're supposed to. How long have we gone? Hour and 4 minutes, and this is a 1 hour show. And me, Theo, and Obsidian talked 30 minutes longer than we were supposed to. But listen, we're building this as we go. We're driving down the highway in a car that we're putting together at the same time. I appreciate the 30 plus people that's been in here. I think it's still like 26 or so that's in here right now. Thank you guys for joining. Please share this video. This is episode 1. Right now, you guys are at the inauguration of the Black Manosphere Weekly, a podcast for the Black Manosphere that concentrates on black men and black men's excellence. I'm glad that you guys are here. Please let people know that the Black Manosphere is not dead and will never die. That's number 1. We are moving forward. We are growing, and things are getting great every single week. For the last 3 years, Obsidian, me, and Theo has spoken every Sunday like clockwork for 3 years straight. And we plan on doing it for the foreseeable future as we grow and build the Black Manosphere. And we appreciate everybody's contribution, help. Make sure that you guys are going to the Black black-manosphere.org website. If you haven't heard or know what this is, we break down what we are and what we're doing. We're having a rendezvous, big rendezvous convention in Miami in September this year. It's the Black Manosphere Conclave 5. I want you guys to come, enjoy, get involved with us. Theo is teaching men how to make money. Obsidian is teaching men how to be better, smarter men. And I'm teaching men how to do business. It's a trifecta. It's a perfect setup that we all came together and we're making this stuff happen. I'm glad you guys are here. Please share this video. Subscribe to the channel. If you know all the common stuff, subscribe, share, like, blah, blah, blah. Hit the thumbs up on the video. We appreciate you guys. We will let you know. Nevertheless, make sure you and hit that bell so you get notified, because we haven't decided if we're going to do this on Tuesdays or Thursdays. We'll talk about it on our Sunday meeting coming up. And then you're going to be able to talk to us listen to us every week on this channel. And I need you guys to cam up. It's not about just me, Theo, and Obsidian talking every week and y'all listening. I want you guys to come up. I want to hear your opinions, Redden. I want to hear your opinions, Chris, Johnny. I want to hear your opinion, Rodderin. Philip, when I said Redden, I was talking to Philip. Philip is a big supporter of the Black Manosphere. He supports me. I see Philip Redden's name everywhere I go. He on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I see his name everywhere. I want to hear your voice. I want you to pull up next week. All right. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming on out, and we'll see you next week. From the very beginning, we envisioned this event to be a beacon of growth and transformation, the Black Manosphere Conclave. Across 3 days, Black men will converge to retool themselves for the 21st century. We'll forge powerful business alliances, refine styles, amplify tech skills, and exchange life lessons unique to the Black male experience. Motivate, evolve, enlighten, and thrive. This, gentlemen, is the Black Manosphere Conclave. Welcome to the elite.